know if I can second that, Maria was absent.
Shawnee, can myself or Travis, can myself or Travis be a second on that?
I'm not, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think Mike,
Is it all right? Second it?
I believe he can. It's okay if Mike Sweeney seconds it because you read them, correct?
Yes, sir. I read them, I seconded it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we got a motion by Mike Martinez, a second by Mike Sweeney, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Any public input?
I did not receive any public input for this meeting.
No public input, no business items.
Shut the door to the conference room, please. Because I can hear.
There's an addition to the business item.
I'm sorry, I had put it on mute. Did somebody ask me something?
I just said there's no public input, no business items unless there's a addition to business items. No.
No.
Okay, we'll move straight to monthly report.
So for monthly reports, I know that gas and water has been working on a couple of water line projects. They're still in stage 6, which is putting us from flushing any lines. So some of those projects are on hold. Some that the city has done, some that private contractors have done until they can flush the lines. We need to be in stage 5 to be able to do that. The divisions have also been taking their Wednesdays every Wednesday and participating in water bottle distribution. And so some of the projects are delayed a little bit while helping out with the bottle distribution. Gas has been doing their annual gas leak inspections. So some of the staff members are able to go along with the inspectors, but whenever they have that's been flagged, they'll have to leave the bottom distribution to go address the gas leak. Water treatment plant has been working on a plethora of projects while still dealing with the water quality changes. The range of turbidities, we're still getting huge swings. These last rains, which have still been fairly light, have still been up in the hundreds. I think over 800 was one of the last ones, and these aren't heavy rains. We're still getting high flows of turbidity. So we're not taking them in. Those high flows we're not taking to Radnor or Peterson. The pre-treatment system, they're still working on their dosing, so they're still adjusting for some dosing challenges, as well as some backwash challenges. They have multimedia filtration. They're trying to fine tune their backwashing as well as the chemical dosing. So we're spending some time trying to make that work. We've worked in the beginning. They've had some challenges lately.
Those are no challenges.
We are currently at, I think the last I saw was 37 or 38 days of water in Radnor. Peterson is full, but because of the sediment that was in it, we're trying to get time to settle. We may be limited to the top 1/3 or 2/3, some portion of the take water out of Peterson, so that the turbidities aren't too high to cause the plant to shut down. And Story is in a similar situation with turbidities also regularly over 30, which are not as bad as what's coming off the river. It's still high. So they've been using Radnor usually between 5 and 10.
Question?
Yes.
In the Arctic, I haven't seen any well pump for.
So we have a challenge that staff have been working on. Well water goes into, all the wells are online. 2A and 4 are all online. The challenge is that they pump into zone 3, And right now, zone three's tank, which is Valencia, is staying full. And so there's no room to pump the well water in. So we're trying to figure out what's crossing the zone there to keep that tank full. And so staff are still working on that.
Question, do we have one tank or two tanks? One is,
We have one treated water tank. The second tank is an effluent tank.
the tall,
The old Bill Keenan tank?
Yeah.
That's an effluent tank.
the old tank?
The one that's, more to the west. The one on the east side by the building is the treated water tank. The one to the west, a bit back, sits back in where P and M's,
I believe that had diesel.
yes, there used to be a diesel tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So that's an effluent.
that's the, thanks.
But the
But
wells that we have right now are online and operational, and we're working on getting 2 more operational.
So we've got treated water tank full at this point.
Yes.
What's
Valencia is
that
full, Luna's full, and
How many gallons?
between all of them, it's
No,
over,
the treated tank. What does that hold?
just the Valencia treated tank is 600,000.
That's what I.
600,000 at Valencia, 2.5 at Luna, and 5 million up at
Camp, what?
Camp Luna.
No, I know Camp Luna, the tank up there,
Yeah,
right?
that has 2.5 million.
And then where's another one?
Cabin site,
Cabin site is up the canyon.
yeah,
That looks- Pardon?
the Montezuma tank, the cabin site.
Yeah.
That has 5 million.
Tank.
So we have almost 8 million. Right now, we have, they're like 90% full each, so we have about 7.8 or 7.9 million gallons.
And there's only one tank.
There are 2 effluent tanks. There's one actually there's 3. There's one at wastewater, there's one at Valencia, and there's one at City Hall.
City Hall.
City Hall.
Formerly.
Up there, yeah, fine.
That was a lake, it was all that, there was a lake. The golf course, all that was a lake.
On the east side of 45.
It was-
So the tank is on the east side of 25, right next to City Hall, just north of City Hall.
Yeah, where City Hall is was a lake, it was all a lake. In the century.
I wasn't pretty.
Okay. That's what they- Somebody that was there told me.
Okay. That's good. So yeah, we do have multiple effluent tanks. So water treatment plant has several projects going on. We have some projects here we're working on and opening up this parking lot, so we have some minor utilities, fencing, aesthetic projects going on. We want to open up the public parking to the public. Not the service area parking, that'll stay fenced in and secure. But we want to open this parking up so that people can park here and doesn't get to the Prince Street. So those are some of the plethora. We have about 70 projects, 60, 70 projects. The top projects that we're adding to our list right now is a new treatment system, 2 new pre-treatment systems, and sediment removal, in addition to alternate water sources. So all of these projects are in progress. The treatment system is NH essentially. The treatment system is looking at a new system because of the change in the water quality. We're going to look at alternate methods of treating the water, maybe membrane filtration, looking at UV, looking at oxidation, some advanced oxidation. The TOCs and the VOCs are just really high with the amount of sediments and natural organics that we have coming down that we'll probably be dealing with for up to a decade, give or take. But we do have an engineer that's helping us with a plan to treat the water as it is now, not the way it used to be. Having pre-treatment systems will help with the removal of the sediment. We want to remove them as early as possible. So we're looking at improving we're looking at installing the pre-treatment system up in the canyon. We already had an old Allen building from way back when, before there was probably a treatment system there. So we're looking at improving that so that we can remove as much sediment in the sed basins and possibly even adding some additional sedimentation places to get the same amount of water, which is Bradford Peterson. Story is a different situation because water goes through the river to get to Story. So even when we pipe it through our meter, good portion of the water that's in storage, just came down the river and took whatever sediment with it. So we need to be able to treat the water in storage, which may happen soon, so. We'll look at transitioning from a temporary pre-treatment system, sediment removal system, and storage to a more permanent system.
Question. This, bill signed by the president for that $2.5 billion. Did the city see that?
So, the city's eligible, there's no application yet, there's a rules making timeframe. I believe it's 45 days from the day the president signed it. So come mid-November, anybody who's impacted by the fire will be able to file a claim basically, or file an application to be able to have anything addressed that is due to the fire. The city's already been working with FEMA for reimbursement or cost coverage for anything that's related to the fire. So whether it's that process or whether it's another process, the city is already moving on that, yes. I did have a meeting with FEMA this morning. I meet with them every week, and we're having staff costs for staff reimbursed. Equipment usage will be reimbursed. We had some contractors who did some work and are still doing work solely related to the fire. We're requesting reimbursement on this as well.
Setting of these,
All the removal of the trees, any support that the city staff provided. The engineers, so Sodom Miller, any engineers that were here that did overtime hours, extra hours of good work that was sold that they wouldn't have had to do if it wasn't for the fire, which they can reimbursement.
Question, how long do you propose or whatever that, Peterson is gonna be not, how long do you, before we think it's gonna be ready to take water out of?
I can't answer that until so my staff are regularly checking it to see if the turbidities are low enough, settling enough that we can start using the water. As soon as we can take it, we'll be taking it. Permanently, we're looking at whenever we as a system can take Pearson fully offline and dredge it, then that's something we'll do. But to do that means we have to have nothing in the reservoir. It needs to dry a little bit. And so that becomes a reservoir we can't use. And right now, even using a third or a half of that reservoir for water storage would be more important because we need that flexibility right now. So we get into a good rhythm with the pre-treatment system and Bradner and with water coming out of it. So
you'll basically pump out of, can you pump out of Peterson to Beckman?
that's what we're planning. What the proof will be in the water quality testing as the sediment settles. Does the turbidity get low enough that we can transfer a portion of it over to Bradner to continue to add pressure? So that's the goal. But it's going to be everything changes. At one point it was we can't use it because it was too sedimented in, but we needed space, and so instead of just leaving it empty, we filled it up and we'll give it time to settle so that we can use hopefully the top portion as much as possible.
So really pumping water out of storage to Peterson and make a difference.
It might go better the other way, where we pump from Peterson, where we drain from Peterson to storage, we let it through the treatment system and we pump it back up to Bradner. So it's water quality. Water quality is our metric. What route do we get the best water quality is good enough to be able to treat?
Next year, I think the cruise down over for me, but you want people to come and give me bottled water. 32 degrees, that's great.
The city hall, city manager, and FEMA, they set up that bottled water distribution. You know, it's been helpful because I think we're down to a little over 1 million gallons per day, and we used to be at 1.3 to 1.5 regularly. And the last few days we've been down to 1 million. So the public is still doing a lot.
No question is that probably more than likely the county will also be applying for funds.
County is already working with FEMA for reimbursement on the expenses. That I'll tell you, FEMA was here early on, and there is a difference between FEMA, IA, individual assistance, and public assistance. But FEMA when FEMA was here for the individual assistance, they were here for public assistance. They were already meeting with the city on what burned, what needs to be replaced, what we paid for, what did you guys do? They've been here, I mean, we already have the applications in, but it takes time to gather all the backup data to show what we've done, and I think they've already submitted 3 or 4 projects on our behalf, and we're gonna be submitting more. We're not waiting to do everything together, we're just trying to get it through, our reimbursements as quickly as possible. And I'm not aware of specifics with the county, but I do know the county has been meeting with them as often.
I just wanted to make sure that be very,
Yes.
pretty much you was.
And we started early with requesting reimbursements, because it's probably gonna be a cycle. We'll request reimbursements for the funds we spent during the fire.
Mhm.
We'll receive it, we'll put it right back in to continue with the fire and flood response, and then continue to request reimbursements. So it'll be a cycle of requesting reimbursements, spending money, and getting the money back.
Yes. So there. And that's.
So that's the main stuff on the monthly reports. Is there anybody with particular questions? Terrence, do you have anything you wanna talk about for the version?
Well, we're going to continue the land install for protecting the home for one location. That I'll see in the fire. You trying to figure out that tank that you just don't, but then since it's flooding the data, everything's, it's supposed to be, it's just that, or it's just, it's basically. When you record
Somewhere there's a line that's crossing grade is on two. Yeah, you can zone things on two, and that's what we're trying to find is. Just make sure you read that email from Andrea. We do have an engineer that's also working with us, with our water model to help try to locate where, most likely where that zone crossing is.
Could that couldn't necessarily be from, let's see, what is it, Hot Springs in that area? Between Hot Springs and North Gonzalez?
I'm gonna try all the double quick.
There's a valve though in between Hot Springs and North Gonzalez, that's a backwards valve. And if it's not done right, you can't tell whether it's on or off. So I think it's a 12-inch valve. And it's a backwards. It goes down a little alley that's between San Miguel or something right in that area.
No, there's one on Sunny Day.
There's a little alley that goes through there. Is it north south? Yeah. This is north south. East or east west.
Right there, no, that's not right.
Yeah, Floresta, exactly.
And that's where that
That's where
valve
this-
is. And
That's where it's been dug up for a long time.
That's already in zone. They already packed their routine time here.
So this one is up with church. What are church? Something?
Okay, well, anyway, that might not be the only one too. There's
That's someone, a black one.
backwards valve, they, you turn them clockwise to turn them off. Well, these ones, you turn them on counterclockwise to turn them off.
Oh,
And most of those marked on the map, we'll be trying to change out. Get away from backwards stops.
Anyway,
Yeah, they've gone around to probably hundreds, if not thousands of valves by now, and checked every single one of them, listened, bypass, and
The street location you're talking about are supposed to cross connection or trips zone through, so.
It's, so Mexico Avenue is our zone boundary between zone 2 and zone 3. And Mills Avenue is a zone boundary between zone 2 and zone 3. They've been checking all of the boundary lines across throughout these zones of boundaries.
The engineer's water model shows it's most likely south of Mills, Mexico, and Orchard Street intersection, that it's north-south, based on the pressure, because it's actually kind of low pressure on the 30s.
38 pounds constant.
Right.
Yeah, the deep.
So it's not high, if it was high in the zone, would be a higher pressure.
I mean, you can have a tank off, you can have a PRDs off, and you have to read constant pressure.
So we got the main treatment system, a couple of pre-treatment, and sediment removal is another thing that we're looking at, FEMA assistance with. And that's the sediment between above the ambulance.
And all them recommendations, resolutions and stuff, that's.
All of those passed, the notice of interest all went to DHSCM for funding those, work projects with it. And we're continuing with more, NFA is asking us what we need. DHSCM, FEMA, everybody's asking what we need, so we're pushing all these projects in methods we can to avoid the it coming out of our budget. Or this permanently coming out of the budget, may initially come out of our budget.
How come you get the design and that person from?
I'll say the FEMA team has been very helpful. They literally are working out of our office up front and collecting all the data and submitting the applications on our behalf. It's so administratively cumbersome that they actually gave us two administrators to fill out all the applications and make sure that everything is correct. Collecting all of the backup and staff.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions on any particular projects? If you do have questions, or if your friends and neighbors have questions, or family members, send them to us, we can keep them up to date. We have probably about 50 major projects, engineered projects, and with about 75 total. Most of those additional 25 are done with recommendations. We'll hire the contractors directly. There's a lot of moving parts going on right now with what we need to maintain the water system and the wastewater system. Yes, a lot going on.
Exciting.
Good. And I mean, there's a lot of projects we talked about in the past, they're still there. Peterson is still there. 8th Street is still there, finishing up the planning and design for 8th Street extension. And we'll see funding for installing that water line. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Morning. I see you're getting busy. You're busy. Nobody's just doing the town.
Yeah.
So like I said, if anybody has any questions on project status, just call them. If the public has questions on project status, then just call them. And where they're at.
The only, thing I heard about is what Sweeney City and York. I think they get, why is that? What scores the PFCC?
That's in the Friday newspaper every Friday. We have a Friday water report that goes in there every Friday and talks about how much water we have on there.
Well, these are people. Why not? Normally,
But basically, you're calling it 38 days.
Roughly 38 days in Wagner. And that doesn't include what's in Story, what's in Peterson. We've got another 120 plus in Story, and Peterson would be another 40 plus days approximately. But until we determine that we can take water out of Peterson, I'm not doing that. Wagner being our operational reservoir, I want to focus on that. Announcements, really don't have any announcements right now, other than we are still in stage 6. And once we go to stage 5, we'll make that announcement. But right now, we still need to focus on conserving water and being cookies.
you gotta get there as long as you can. As long as you have to.
Well, We do have guidelines that I have to follow, based on what the council has approved. And that's kind of where we're at. I guess another announcement I can make now, and I don't quite know where it's at yet, but if anybody's been paying attention to the news, gas prices, natural gas prices, propane going up. The city is a pass through where if our prices go up, then we consequently to the public. We're currently looking at this year's rate change for Zia. And I'll come back to the utility advisory committee once we know what we're doing and how we're doing. But
When does the current contract expire? We're tied in for a year.
I'd have to go look to see what the 4-year contract. You know, that's,
I thought we were year to year.
we do addendums every year, but usually the contract is a 4-year contract, renewable for a year. All gas companies are going up, not just the, it's, what is it? I looked at some other communities, ours is roughly, Colorado's up to like $10 per MCF. Some places are at $20 per MCF. We're closer to, probably gonna be closer to 7-ish, 8-ish, somewhere around there. We can see. I don't know all the details, but to switch to a different gas company would require a whole, I mean, it'd be millions and millions of dollars to switch.
It's a little too crazy.
So, but, and right now, New Mexico gas is higher than CA gas. So that would be our only other provider number. And right now they are higher.
So, you know, so it's kind of, inflation's inflation.
It's hitting everybody. So, as soon as I have more detailed information, I'll provide it to the board, but, for the committee, just know that it is something that we're dealing. Maybe doing natural gas prices. And I know OPEC did something again this over the weekend. I think they cut their production. So that could be impacted too. I mean, vehicle gas could change. That's all I really have for announcements and project status, unless somebody has a question. Thank you.
And the comments, I think West, what you're getting along with West National, so block there by the courthouse. If you want to work on
West National Distribution did a water meter change out. And I think there was one effluent line, some line that was being, somebody was working on. Is it the streets department? Okay, so there's like an effluent line or something. Was there a line that was leaking?
You know, that was
fixed by the county, right?
you know, it was.
It was fixed by us, okay. And so the rest of it is the streets by the fixed, done by.
There's a huge pipe there. From the county courthouse, the 6-inch blue line.
Oh, that's fine. That's from all the landscaping.
Went into the road, and just like a trench drain or steel gravel. It's just, you know,
Drainage to the roadway.
you
That one, I don't.
know, it was just all dragged. You don't have no problem with that. I love the sanitation, but
So they're still working on wastewater, and so wastewater water project, the wastewater is proceeding according to schedule. Water is behind due to equipment or materials. The materials that were spec'd and approved were no longer available, so they had to get spec out a different pipe. And we talked about that, I think, in the last meeting. It was a different size pipe, and then that has to get through the whole process of approval from Construction Program Bureau and then acquiring the pipe. Materials are still, in some cases, are still 6 months out. They order it, and it's some of the other equipment that we're currently looking at is 42 to 46 weeks out.
I have one last
Supply
question.
chain is full. Yes, sir.
Amsterdam,
They did an amnesty day
Yes.
2 Saturdays ago.
was it, you had to go to, take it to a transfer station?
Yes. That we didn't have enough staff to man the transfer station and all of us folks, so we just did it at the transfer station. And we're planning on doing another one. And I think there's a cleanup this Saturday.
This river line on Hot Springs, north south. The trying to tie into another one further north.
We're doing a water line and a sewer line replacement. I might have said it, we're doing a wastewater sewer line replacement and a water line replacement. It's gonna go over the east side of, Mills on the water line replacement. Sewer line, I think is made between Mills and Senegal. You know, there were two much needed improvements. The water line to the east of Mills, that's phase one, eventually phase two will get the all the way up to the school past Camp Luna. The problem is that all the lines are, it's a maze of lines. You got one line and you got two lines and you got one that was built in the 50s and one that was built in the 40s. The water distribution has numerous, probably beyond the ability to count, had to excavate the hot springs to go repair and replace. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it all on the easement on the side, so we don't continue to tear up the issues. And put in new pipe. One pipe instead of two that goes back down to one. And when you have a leak, you don't know which pipe just leaks in there.
Street lines.
Yeah.
It's too bad there's some really one ways in that area that we're talking about. Is traffic. Not what happened.
I think that most of the work's gonna happen off the sidewalk. So we'll install, are you talking about on the, where they're at right now? Yeah, this is a little bit of a challenge. Trying to get everybody around that, much needed work. And then it'll follow with a little bit of public works is required to run into this.
Are you gonna do Santa Fe Street on
This is just on Osprey's.
Okay, I think that covers it. Next meeting is November the 8th, 2022 at 1:30 p.m. So we adjourn this meeting.
Motion for please.
Second. Adjourn at 2:05.
Meeting ends.
We're all stressed together now. Yeah.